bottom line, I think of the whole program is building the discipline. And maybe you had discipline before and you lost it, or maybe you never had discipline. But the key to this challenge, which is also the key to sort of life, living your life in a good manner, is the discipline. It's sort of baseline. You've got to have the discipline in your life. And so this program really easily lays it out where you check every day. You have to do certain things. The discipline has to be there. Every day that you do those for yourself, you see the benefits, you gain a discipline. That's how you build discipline. Just doing it consistently every single day for yourself. Not missing a day. Even though you're tired, even though the dog kept you up all night, you gotta get up the next day and you gotta do your workouts and you gotta do your reading and your water and your eating right. It's part of life. There's always gonna be challenges. That's key. There's always gonna be challenges in life, and you can't just say, I'm too this or that today. It's just show up and do it. The next day you'll feel better for it, guarantee.
Your habits are how you embody your identity. When you make your bed each day, you embody the identity of an organized person. Identity change is the North Star of habit change. You need to know who you want to be. Otherwise, your quest for change is like a boat without a rudder. Your identity is not set in stone. You have a choice in every moment. You can choose the identity you want to reinforce today with the habits you choose today. Quite literally, you become your habits.
Happy Friday. Sorry I missed last week. I'm going through this stage as a YouTuber. I'm figuring out more things every week, and I feel really great about learning about YouTube, and I want to get better at it. I can see I need to get better. So I'm spending a lot of time researching, learning, getting better at that. So I'm working on that. But I also think it's time, I need to adjust, maybe go to every other week probably instead of every Friday right now while I'm learning things. It could change, but I just want to let you know, don't be surprised if I don't post every Friday. I'm also on day 49 of 75 Hard, and I know a lot of you send me really lovely messages, and I so appreciate it, because it is kind of lonely doing this program on your own. And I really appreciate the support, the sort of cheering, go, because I need that, and I do that for other people, and I really appreciate it. And it's working. I'm on day 49, and I'm down 12 pounds, which was not my exact goal. Yes, I needed to lose weight. I needed to gain muscle mass. I needed to do a lot of things for my energy and, overall physique and health and mindset, but I'm doing it. And I feel great about that. And I'm not going to end 75 Hard at 75 days, I don't think. It's become a mindset for me. So that's what I want to impart, is that any of you out there thinking of doing it, or you need a change, you need a restart, a reinvent, a rebirth, rejuvenate, any of those words, which I felt I really needed. I was stuck. And that is a big premise of my YouTube, is get unstuck. And that's my message. And that's what I work on all the time. For years, somebody many years ago told me, they thought I was stuck. I didn't want to believe it. After I sold my business, I have had trouble getting in a new direction. Getting unstuck feels great. And I feel like now, more than midway through this challenge, that's exactly what's happening. I have a clarity, I have an energy, a motivation, I have sparks of inspiration back to my entrepreneurial roots, which I love. Ideas are flowing again, they're percolating. All that will come to you. With the discipline of doing these things every single day, you're investing in yourself. You're having discipline for yourself. No one else is going to do it for you, as they say. So I can only say it's really worth it. I really encourage any of you to do. It doesn't have to be 75 Hard. Any kind of discipline type thing you need to do to instill that, but this program made it easy in a way. It kind of laid out the framework, and check every day. It does kind of organize it for you, which I needed, I guess. And so anyway, that's enough about that. Today in the video, though, I'm not I am going to touch upon it's a little bit of a check-in, so you know that I'm still on 75 hard. I'm still doing it. It's working great. But I also want to show you some of the things I'm eating. So food, my foodie place. I love to share food. I love to share recipes. I love to share what I'm eating, how to make it. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite salads. I love my corn salads. God, I love my corn salads. And not just in the summer, although it's summer all the time here in Miami, so I eat a lot of corn salads year round. I'm going to do the corn salad, two different flavorings. I got to cut this short because she's going it's salty. She wants to take her nap. And I got to go head off to my second workout right now. I wanted to get this in quickly to say, an overview of what we're talking about today. I'm still drinking my water. At this point, though, I also, because this is my food YouTube, Let's Chat and Cook a Chicken, I wanted to share with you some of my food recipes and meals and salads I've been making on 75 Hard, which I do eat like that all the time, but I've, again, part of my diet that I've done is I've almost completely cut out sugar as far as I can, and cut 80 to 90% of the carbs down for now, and the gluten, and it's really made a difference. So I'm figuring out what works for my body, and I'll make the adjustments going forward. But what I really want to show you is how I use my air fryer, and wait till you see the little cutest roast of beef that I made for Pat and I, and then I sliced it up the next day over my salad of microgreens and arugula, and I had some little roast potatoes because I love my niçoise salad with the potatoes and the mix of greens and whatnot. So I did that, but I also love my corn salads. So I'm going to show you two different corn salads that I use, and I use those mostly as a side salad. They can go with so many things, chicken and beef really well, fish too. I did it with fish. I did the fish in the air fryer. So I want to show you that. And it's all part of my change on 75 Hard and the healthy eating habits, cleaner eating. I am back from my second workout. I pushed myself beyond the 45 minutes, well beyond, and did a lot of strength working out that I need to do in my stage of life, menopause. So during my first walk today, I revisited a book that I love. I listened to this book on I get it on Spotify. I revisited a book that I love, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I listened to the whole thing a few months ago, and I loved it, but I wasn't on 75 Hard back then. I'm rereading that book again, and it's just resonating so much deeper this time because it really goes hand in hand with the 75 Hard Challenge. So it's a great book. So I'm going to put it in a great book or podcast. It's not a podcast. It's like on a Kindle Audible book. So really great to do if you're on this program, or even if you're not. But there's so much good stuff in this book, and so much I missed the first time around. I had to write it down, some quotes, because it's really hitting for me. Atomic Habits. And I'm gonna botch some of these. They're not really quotes, but they're just things he's saying. Some of them I'll say as quotes. But who do you want to be? I mean, isn't that why we're all kind of doing 75 Hard? To sort of, if we've stuck in something, we want to figure out what's the next step for us, who we are, what our beliefs and values, and how we want to progress. So who do you want to be? And where do those beliefs come from? And his whole thing is about habits, just like 75 Hard, developing those habits. How is your identity formed? Well, as he says, and he describes in great detail on how to do it, your identity, your self-belief, your identity is formed through your habits, what you do every day. You're not born with it. So you can't say, oh, I was born into this kind of family or that kind of family or the curse or whatever. No. No. Your identity is what you create through your habits every day. So I'll just use myself. If I paint every day, I'm embodying the identity of an artist, of a painter, of a creative person. That's personally who I would like to be right now. I've always been a creative person, but the past few years I've been learning how to paint. Anyway, your repeated beingness, that sounds pretty philosophical. Your repeated beingness, your habits that you do every day, you repeat consistently, become your beingness. They are who you are. If you're a person that doesn't make their bed every day, your room is a mess, you're a messy person. If you're a person that goes to the gym daily, well, you're committed to fitness. As the evidence grows, as you do something day to day, like right now I'm doing a 20-minute painting practice. As the evidence grows and you do something consistently, it starts to define who you are, what your identity is. It's unlikely you would consider yourself a soccer player. This is what he says in his book. It's unlikely that you would consider yourself a soccer player if you kick the soccer ball once or twice. Agree. So repeated actions change your self-image. So don't get down on yourself. And believe me, my whole YouTube is not to be preachy. I've been stuck for a long time, and it's unlike me. But we've had a lot of big changes in our life. We've moved several times, and I lost my footing. But so this is to help you regain footing, refocus, all that stuff. It's not to be preachy. I've been there. If I can do this, you can do this. Just like I said with my gnocchi making video, because it's hard. It's been hard for me, but I'm doing it, and I'm here to tell you the results are nothing less than miraculous. It ties back. I love Mel Robbins. I talk about her all the time. I listen to every podcast she does, 2 times a week. She had a woman on who talked about the North Star sort of technique, identifying and finding a person that you aspire to be. Like if you're a singer and there's this singer that's up here that's doing the kind of music or has the kind of singing practice or sings in front of large audiences, if that's something that you aspire to, well, you study that person. You read their books if they have it. You see their concerts. You listen to their music. You study who they are. You read interviews with them that they've done, and you figure out what their habits are that got them to who they are and how they got to that spot. And you start doing those habits. So that's your North Star. Habits help define yourself. Defining your self-identity is the North Star of the whole enchilada. So start there. So there's some painters that, in my case again, that I admire, and they do a 20-minute daily art practice, and they finish a painting from start to finish in 20 minutes. I started building that into my routine now in 75 Hard, and I love it because that's something that I'm aspiring to do. Better my creative practice, my painting. And that painting is not, going to hang in the Guggenheim. Possibly, maybe it will. The point is just to practice, to progress, to go, to be creative, to do it every day and build that muscle and do something I enjoy. And let me tell you something, they're not bad. They're getting better all the time. I mean, you can see progress. If you just do something, remember I talked about this a few videos ago, 1% change per day for something you want to do, it compounds. You look back over the week and you go, oh, I just did 7 paintings. Haven't painted in a while. That's pretty good. So, or I went to the gym 7 times that week. Well, I'm down a couple pounds. I'm already, it happens faster than you think. You think it's going to be hard. Yes, a little bit hard getting going. But if you commit to yourself, and why wouldn't you commit to yourself? Here's the big message that I'm getting out of reading his book, Atomic Habits. But there's so much more. No one has time to listen to me. You saw with the dog, she had enough of me. The process of building habits is the process of becoming yourself. The process of building habits is the process of becoming yourself. Cheers to that. Who do you want to be? How do you want people to identify you? Or you identify with yourself so you feel good about yourself? Start doing those habits. If it's more exercise, exercise more. You know, as Andy Frisella, drink more water, it's helping me. You want to be a reader? Read every day. You want to be an artist? Paint every day. Habits, habits, habits. Oh God. Habits. Consistency, accountability, habits. So 75 hard challenge as doing that for me. This book goes hand in hand. I highly recommend reading it. It's fantastic. So good luck to you all. Start small. Make a change every day. Little change and keep doing it. You're going to get there and you're going to feel great. But today, let me show you one of my favorite salads to make is my corn salad. I make it many different ways, but my favorite is to either grill or broil, or in this case I'm sauteing it in the pan, but I make sure I get that sizzle on the corn first, and then I start adding my chopped peppers, lots of cilantro. Use parsley if you don't like cilantro. You can put in black beans here too. But this way, I just like it kind of an easy, quick salad with the peppers, cilantro, an easy, quick dressing of olive oil, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of lemon juice. And if you need it a little bit sweeter, put a little bit of honey in there, but I leave that out, and salt and pepper. Air fryer is perfect to cook fish really fast. I use a nice dry spice rub with panko breadcrumbs. I use ground cumin, smoky paprika, salt and pepper, a little onion salt, and just push that into both sides nicely and cook on one side for about 5 minutes at 390. Flip it to the other side, another 5 minutes, but check it, as it gets closer so you don't overdo it. Delicious. I did this in the air fryer, and it's delicious. This fish, it's so moist and flaky, not dry at all. Nice crust that I made. Try it. I love to do chicken thighs in the air fryer as well. It takes about half the time as it does in the oven. So for mine this time, I just coated them in a dry spice rub of just a fajita season that was in a package that I needed to use up. Both sides, and 10 minutes on each side. I flip in between at about 390. So done, easy. For this 1.2 pound cutest little beef roast, I did it in the air fryer. I put fresh rosemary, salt and pepper, and a little bit of olive oil around it, and put that in the preheated air fryer. It preheated it for like 5 minutes on 400, cooked it 5 minutes at 400, and then 20 minutes at 375, flipping it once in between, and it was perfect. I check for medium rare heat, which I like, and then I take it out at the appropriate time. Another flavor profile I like to use on my corn salad is a little spicier, a little smokier. So I add in some chopped jalapenos while I'm searing the corn. There's also thinly sliced celery and some cucumber. And I add in cumin, hot pepper flakes, some hot honey. I think that gives it a nice sort of sweet and hot. And in this case, I chopped up a little bit of chipotle pepper, which was delicious. This combination paired perfectly with my beef to go on my beef salad. So it was such a nice complement to that salad to have that smoky, spicy corn salad against the beef and the microgreens. Now for even more of a flavor bomb over that beef, I mixed up a little bit of mayo, olive oil, horseradish, Dijon mustard, and salt and pepper. I may have put a little lemon juice in there probably to cut the richness. It was delicious, especially the horseradish. Upping my protein and healthy fats intake, I make this egg and avocado salad with fresh dill and some fresh chopped tomatoes and scallions, and I serve it over the sourdough wasa crisps. So I get that crunch because I crave that crunch at lunch. And I'm not eating as much bread. I still eat bread, but not as much. And this gives me the same sort of effect. It's delish. Okay, I know you that do watch my YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm having fun doing it. And just because I'm on 75 hard, which I know to some of you looks a bit fanatical, but I needed it. And I'm sure some of you out there need it too. Whatever it takes, whatever works for you, do it. So I'm just sharing 75 hard with you because it's been working for me. Surprised, it really shocked me how well it's working. And it really shocked me that I did it. Because for years I've been complaining and, making excuses, and that's unlike me, but whatever it took, I'm doing it. So, but I don't want you to think I've completely let go of, I cook all the time still. I'm redefining my relationship with food, which I needed to do. That doesn't mean I don't love and think about food all the time and read my cookbooks all the time and listen to my podcasts all the time. So what I want to say is, I think my next episode is on tarts, which I love tarts. And I'm going to put up a picture of the tart I just made. I'm going to call it an egg tart. It's really a quiche, but it was so thin and made in a tart-like pan. And it was so delicious. Savory tarts are my jam, but I love sweet tarts too. We're going to make all kinds of tarts. And I've been listening to Nigel Slater, this English trained chef, great baker, journalist, podcaster. I don't know if he has restaurants or not. Anyway, I'm just loving his great cookbooks. I'm just loving his podcast, and I'm going to put a link to it because they're like little bedtime stories for us foodies. His voice is so British and soothing. Maybe he's Scottish. I don't know. No, he's British. Nigel Slater, his voice is like a bedtime story for us foodies, and I have listened to his tart episode podcast at least 3 times.
Really, serving someone a slice of tart is a true act of love. If I make a tart for you, you will know I love you. It takes an hour to make the dough, line and bake the pastry case, then another to make the filling, bake it again, and then to let it cool. Making a tart is both a fiddle and a joy.
I can't get enough. But I'm now making these tarts because of it. And his Christmas Chronicles, oh my gosh. Okay, so stick with me. I'm going to be done with 75 hard soon. In 25 more days, I'm going to be done with 75 hard challenge. I'm not going to end, yes, I'm going to end the challenge, but it has instilled these permanent habits in me that I am so grateful for, which I will continue. But yes, I will be having a cheeseburger and fries, and I probably will have another glass of rosé. So all is not lost, but I've learned to rein it in and make the changes I needed to make, and I hope that inspires you. But I'm still with you, my foodies, and we're still going to make some great food. So keep watching, and I think the next episode is on tarts.